Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our National Geographic episode about apes. Today we shall learn that they, in fact, can go ape spit.
Ape spit.
Wait, what?
It's a joke. Anyway, whoa.
Wow, that.
Oh God!
So it's your typical love story of a damsel in the Stone Ages getting kidnapped, and her hero's about to save the day when all of a sudden he gets turned into an ape. Man.
Wow, I gotta say that.
De-evolution?
Wow, I gotta say that new Ape Escape remake is looking insane.
I've seen this before a long time ago, back in its classic. This was on the NES or something, wasn't it?
It was. It was also on the Genesis, and it was originally an arcade game. Though, that being said, this is a remake of Toki, which, I mean, let me go ahead and give you, like, a quick little tour down memory lane. Like, way back in, like, the late 2000s, like around 2009 or so, a rather obscure company called Golgoth's Games, which were in charge of making this remake of the arcade Toki. And, well, let's just say that, well, they weren't able to make their end goal or whatever, and for the longest time, this project ended up becoming vaporware. Until recently, Microids pretty much took it up and, well, brought it back to life, and, well, they were able to release it exclusively for the Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
And I should stress that this was a remake that was originally planned for, like, WiiWare, Xbox 360, and PS3's PlayStation Network shop.
Ouch, that was a long time ago.
Very long time ago, and all these assets are relatively unchanged from that time period. Though I gotta hand it to them, for what it's worth, like, it holds up pretty well. Save for the occasional jank you might see.
Well, I was gonna say, oh yeah, I remember the freaking zombie monkey thing. I was gonna say, like, looking at it, like, the 2D, this is some smooth animation.
Yeah.
Also, don't mind the Yoshi, I just fucking murdered.
And other than that, this game is basically a sort of, like, imagine Contra meets Mario.
In a matter of speaking, yeah, it's basically an arcade game from, like, way back in the 1980s, late 1980s, where you play as an ape man who literally has the power to fucking spit bullets.
But this is some really smooth anime. I'm really like impressed by it so far.
Yeah.
Honestly, just.
There's an odd jank to it, but it's like I don't mind it.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit.
Because I was about to say, I don't know
burning
if it's just on my. I don't know if it's just on my end, but for me, the animation seems kind of inconsistent. Because some animations look really smooth, but then there are others that are like really cheap looking.
Trust me, it's not just you.
You know what? I see it on my end too. So
You could sort of argue that it's sort of the result of Microids basically taking what was originally a vaporware game, or what ended up becoming vaporware, and trying to polish it up a bit for the modern generation. And but yeah, like, again, I really do appreciate this existing, because I remember actually following this up somewhat irregularly back when it was announced, and, like, I was really looking forward to it. But then, well, lack of news pretty much happened, and, well, we all thought it was, well, I thought it was going to pretty much be dead. But nope, it's here, it's alive, and it's a fucking ape wearing a football helmet. Which, as far as I'm concerned, only blocks projectiles.
So how does it feel to you?
I mean, the controls themselves aren't that bad. Like, he moves pretty slowly, but I think the game takes that into account. Like, the level design is not that spacious, or it's spacious enough, but not too out there. And here's our first boss, this big Oni with an ape body hanging on his shoulder. Oh, I can actually jump on it. That's a first. I didn't know you could do that.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh god! Oh god!
I do want to
Eddie's
ask.
down.
Nice. I was gonna say, are you want? Hype first. Oof.
I was about to say, in terms of the visuals, because I know there are some remakes that like to take their own creative liberties, how much of the, like, from a visual standpoint, how much of what's in the game was actually taken from it, and how much is, like, creative liberties? Like, for example, that football helmet you picked up, like, was it originally a football helmet as well in the original? You know, stuff like that.
Basically, this is pretty much a shot-for-shot remake of the arcade original. Like, everything from the football helmet to these derpy monkeys shooting cannons is all faithfully preserved.
Gotcha.
If not given a little bit of minor touch-ups to make them even more surreal looking.
Yeah, I was gonna say they definitely went with the wackiness of this one. Are you one hit kill?
Yes.
Ouch.
Oh,
Oh.
that was close.
Something just makes it so much more dire. So I see lives in the lower left and credits in the lower right. Are those like your continues in the lower right?
Yes, they are your continues, and unfortunately, there's no option to alter any of this. I mean, I think the most that happens is like if you change your difficulty, you will have less lives and less continues that you got to work off of. But otherwise, you're pretty much working with bare minimum customization options, which I think is probably one of my biggest problems with this remake. First of all, there's that, and secondly, it's a great remake. I think it's a bit overpriced.
Gotcha.
How much is this remake of an arcade game from the NES era?
On the Nintendo eShop, this game costs $30.
Oh,
Wow.
And there's only 6 levels. And there's only 6 levels in this game.
I would have
Steep.
stopped at like 15, 20 max.
I do
Yeah,
want to say,
I'll agree with that.
I do want to say though, because I am noticing the song that's playing is actually really nice and jazzy. As far as the music's handled, is it all like complete remixes of the original soundtrack, or are there like any new tracks made for this remake?
They're remixes.
What do you think, John?
It's a really interesting game. I'm amazed that it's that
Oh no, you don't.
a remake,
Don't
like a
wait.
remake of that they were able to remake this game. What seems like, and for them to basically have like a 9-year development cycle or something like that.
Very much,
More
I
like
guess.
9-year development hell.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
Lucky shot.
Golly!
you know, it's a good thing that eye doesn't kill you.
Yeah, I was expecting it to. I was super worried, but no, we got one up. Well, if you run out of credits, is it game over like fully?
I think it does game over fully, because another thing about this game is that there is no save function.
Ouch.
I mean, it saves your I think it saves your high score, or actually, no, it doesn't. So, all in all, I do think this is. I mean, in one way, this is a fully functional game. In another, you can argue that it's because of Microid's involvement, it does feel a little slapdash in places.
Meanwhile, we are now halfway. We are now at near the halfway point of this entire game, apparently, and it has been less than 8 minutes.
Oh, really? Wow.
I will
So-
say this much, ladies and gentlemen. I can't guarantee I'm going to do a full playthrough of this game because there are some aspects of it that I would argue are pretty hard, if not borderline bullshit. But otherwise,
Gotcha.
I'm just mostly doing this for the lulz. Because I mean, I like this game. I think it deserves some bit of attention.
How exactly would you describe the learning? Well, not learning. How would you describe like the difficulty curve in this game? Is it like a good progression, or are there like any noticeable spikes?
The most I get out of difficulty spikes are the very occasional enemy placement and boss fights. But otherwise, it's really this is a game I would consider very similar to the likes of, say, maybe Demon's Crest or Super Ghouls and Ghosts, where it's hard but it's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you take your time,
At least
you'll be
that's what I get
fine.
out of the game's easy mode. And I do like some of the quick thinking you can that the game encourages you to do, considering that you move so slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it like kind of like I see this less like an action platformer, almost more like almost kind of more like a shooter.
It's a mixture of both. It's a run and gun game, kind of like Metal Slug.
Gotcha.
But that aside, like, what do you guys think of no!
Oh boy.
Okay, let's see what the checkpoints are like. Oh, checkpoints are pretty. Unless we just reach the halfway point. How are the checkpoints in this game if you die?
The checkpoints in this game are pretty generous, all things considered. It was like that being said, it was also like that in the original arcade game,
That's
where
also
you
good.
practically died like every other section.
That's fair. Okay, so yeah, so I mean, again, from what I'm seeing, like this looks pretty okay. I mean, again,
Oh God!
like again, the whole boy, this is the
almost went ape shit.
This is the Dark Souls of Donkey Kong. No, so it definitely has a nice sense of challenge to it. Just again, that price range is kind of a discouragement for me.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would like to think that it's pretty fun to the point where I wouldn't mind playing it every now and again. It's just that, yeah, not everyone will have that same mileage.
But no, especially since like,
I wonder if I can get this. No, I can't. It was worth a
no.
shot.
Ooh. I mean, also especially
Actually,
the,
one thing I will say about the remake, I never knew how many faces the Toki here makes whenever he dies.
makes a lot of them. Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
how you get it.
So Logan, when are we gonna make the reference?
No, not Toki. He's fine, not sick. He's not dead. Definitely not dead. I don't think we've
Yeah.
gone to. I don't think
Go
we've
back.
reached the scene where he's died yet either, have we? Or
No, we haven't yet.
not yet? We're talking about another character,
It's a North Star character.
Oh,
also
God.
named Toki.
Oh boy.
Oh goodness, that hitbox is weird. Oh, but hey, here we are right now. But
Yeah, Yoshi.
yeah. But yeah,
Bullshit.
they came right out of it.
Yeah, I can see what you mean now.
But honestly, again, looking at this, like the speed at which you respawn, the quickness of it is not like it doesn't look unfun to play. You mean like, oh shoot, I got
Oh yeah, no, like this game is slow, but it feels like it was made to be that way. While also, well, it's very responsive.
right, yeah. I'm not seeing this like this isn't looking like unbearably like you know what I'm trying to say. It doesn't look like it'd be aggravating to go through. Even if you die, it's like okay, get back into this. But looking at it, I think another part of it that I'm a little actually no, not concerned by. I would say with the fact that this is so short, is there co-op?
No, there's not. I don't think there was any co-op in the original game either.
Co-op would have been really cool, I think.
Would have been nice though. I don't know if this level design would have totally worked for it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it would.
Again, I'm just still surprised how nice this game looks even today. Like, again, this was made back with the original Xbox 360, PS3, and WiiWare in mind. Although I'm honestly wondering what the graphics like these. I wonder- yeah, this thing's fucking weird. And even worse, it tries to burp at shit.
Burp. It looks like a slug. Oh, and it can kick you.
That was my fault.
I'm getting chills looking at that thing.
It's like a walking, burping brain.
Oh god, that sounds so nasty when taken out of context.
Just, yeah, this game is fucking weird. Like, even the original, back in the olden days, this game had a really weird art style to it. I'm just,
Oh, yeah,
honestly-
no.
if I will say one other thing, I'm honestly surprised this remake even exists in the first place, because up until I heard about it, I've never heard anything about this game, like, at all.
I think it was Game Grumps or Joel played this game like on an old NES, like arcade thing, and again, it was.
Oh boy.
I think whenever he gets close, you should just jump and you'll dodge the kicking.
Sorry,
Maybe.
That's fair.
Yeah, yeah. Next time, just jump. But yeah, no worries. But yeah, just even back then, just again, gorilla spitting at zombie monkey. And especially this thing.
I think what else too, whenever I'm rapidly shooting, like Toki does stay still. That's something I can appreciate.
I love how when he burps, the letters literally just say burp.
Okay, I would jump the next time he gets close to you.
Oh wait,
Not
he's
there.
about to die right about now.
Oh,
I remember this
wait.
scene graphic.
Nice.
There you are.
There we go.
Whoa.
God,
Oh,
look at
even that
that.
looks disturbing.
And he turns to ash. But yeah, given that we just lost 7 lives right there in the last section,
Logan.
I what's up?
Would you say that I think that boss went a little brain dead.
Gas head.
How do you all like going from a fucking Hell Central to the icy tundra?
This game keeps the variety of flowing. Zarzamoth.
Okay.
Also, I love this detail. These mooks have freaking
Scarves.
they're wearing scarves.
That's cute.
And
Oh,
they're
that's
dead.
so cute.
And he's dead. And oh
And
gosh, we have
I said cute in a weird way.
cute. And oh jeez. Oh goodness me.
Also, because I can't really see for myself since I'm not the one playing this, are there actually ice physics? Because I don't really see a whole lot of slip sliding.
There's no ice physics.
A
good.
lot of these platforms are weak and are falling underneath his feet, though.
Ah, I should.
Oops.
And ghosties.
He came out of nowhere.
It's an arcade title. This was a coin muncher.
Oh come on, I'm like right there, and I can't kill him like that. Oh well, guess I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Ooh.
Oh gosh. Penguin.
Oh boy.
That's
We
what I
were
get
stunned
for-
by
that's
the
what I get for
penguin.
being patient.
Yeah. So, what would you say are your
But
favorite
yeah, I
kind
think
of
I'll just keep
arcade-
going until I get my first continue.
Oh, be
Alright.
careful, otherwise it's going to be too soon. Anyway, go ahead, Hype.
I was gonna ask John, since I know he hasn't joined us for like too many videos. What are your favorite type of arcade games?
Usually when I was
Oh, hey, Andros.
usually when I used to play, like when I would play on the in arcades, I usually go for like the racing games. I usually went for like arcade racing games, and anything else would be.
Have you played Cruisin' USA?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
Yeah, those are pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Though I think I'm more familiar with Cruisin' World than USA.
I think I played
There
pretty
you
much
are.
all the Cruisins and all the
Oh, God,
Fast and
that's
Furious.
cold.
Oh boy.
Sharks.
Man, it's cold. Fill my crystal coconuts.
Also, you cannot. Also, you cannot aim underwater, so be careful.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Squids.
But yeah, just going back to the topic of like arcades, how familiar are you in terms of like the beat 'em up genre?
I played a few I played a fair few of them, but unfortunately, none of them are ones that immediately come to mind. So like
patience here. Okay.
when I
So you never played anything like Turtles in Time or The Simpsons?
if I have played them, I don't remember actually.
Oh,
playing them.
There's a
Oh
moth.
boy.
Sweet mammoth!
Oh, it's a Zarzameth. I get it.
Manny the Moody Mammoth.
Whoa.
Manny
Okay.
the Melancholy.
Okay, that's something.
I got your reference, Steve.
I know you
Okay,
did.
okay, okay. Easy,
Oop.
easy. One more
This
health
actually
bar.
doesn't seem that hard.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Ouch.
That can be a little unfair.
Poor Trunk. It shall rest in pieces.
Yep. So
Crap,
much
let's just
for
keep
that.
going. Crap, let's just keep going until we get a game over.
By the way,
then.
did anyone just know? Am I the only one that just knows that of all things his butt was spared?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shall go in peace. A monkey respects one's butt.
Indeed.
Never take that out of context.
Among
I
other
was thinking of a baboon when I was saying that. We're gonna move on. Bashtar.
Bashtar.
Unfortunately, this is as far as I got in the game, so as far as I'm concerned, this might be where I get my game over.
Well,
Well,
have you ever
you
gone back?
never
Have you ever
know.
gone back to beat them? I mean, like you haven't even used one of your credits so far. You're getting better
get
at
it.
this.
I mean, I think it's by that time I think I kept dying to the boss so much, and I just got a little
Whoa,
impatient.
cool.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, we
wow.
have one more life.
Okay.
Here we go.
But already, this is seeming like a very unwelcoming place.
Yeah, you don't say. What on earth gave you that kind of implication, Logan?
I don't know. Like this dude's trying to speed his
Well,
tongue. Okay,
it's dark,
we got
It's
it.
a jungle.
We've done it. But yeah, this game has very.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, the boss of this level is basically the weird disembodied hand and whatever that stole our girlfriend earlier.
Oh, okay. So we must go and deal with the henchman and then the boss.
Oh lordy!
Oh,
Nice.
that was close.
Is it possible
Very
to tell
grateful
ahead
in
of
this
time?
game. I could fucking yeah, you can tell ahead of time. It's just like I think they have like a pouncing animation, but yeah, just again, I'm very grateful. This is a game where you can actually boop on your enemies. You don't just have to worry
Yeah.
about.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, is it possible to tell what
Just
enemies you
right.
can and cannot boot?
Now, well,
Oops.
Ah,
I
you got
died
greedy.
I died for a fucking.
New personal
Football
high
helmet.
score.
Someone got greedy, but that's it. That's the story.
That's the story, and our girlfriend will unfortunately remain captive behind this golden screen.
And Miho shall hold him. Oh, he even talks and tries to warn you. And good.
Enjoy your new hubby, sweetie. What?
What happened on my mic again?
You cheating ape!
Bye bye.
Goodbye.
So yeah, that's all, folks. At least that's all I'll be showing off. The sad part is we were only one stage off from finishing the game.
I know, we
Yeah.
got close.
So yeah, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our little let's attempt at Toki for the Nintendo Switch. Again, I mean, I personally do recommend it, but I would also recommend getting it at a price drop.
Yeah,
If
if
there
there's
is
a
one.
discount or
Yeah,
something.
if there is one.
Considering that we had almost beaten the game, that seemed a little bit short for $30.
Agreed.
Mhm.
But that's pretty much our stance on the whole thing. Again, that was Toki. I'm JamesmanXtreme.
Lucky Jack 20.
Oops.
Seeley says bye. She stopped recording prematurely.
All right, then.
Whoops.
Bye, guys.
Oh, and also Hype and John were here.
Yes.
I now pronounce you divorced.